Today we are going to take a look at the Thunder Road Vendetta Carnival of Chaos expansion. And this expansion is a lot more involved than the others. That this is really kind of an alternate game mode for this game. It's not simply just something that adds to it. It plays with the same basic mechanics of the regular Thunder Road Vendetta, but it does have a very different thing to it. This is going to be more like what Unmatched Adventures did for Unmatched, that it plays with those basic Unmatched mechanics, but as an alternate gameplay mode on it. That's kind of what you got going on with this. Except this does not make it cooperative. It is still very much you versus everybody else, but the game goes very differently. Initially, this game came out as a Kickstarter, so I do have some stuff in here that were some Kickstarter upgrades for it. I'm not sure if those stick around permanently. And as we go here and take a look at this, there is a lot going on here. Go over one of these really quickly. You now have purple cars. Yes, you have a fifth set of cars. They have their dies, they have their 3 cars, their chopper, and their command boards. You can play this 5th car on Carnival of Chaos, or you can do it just on the regular game and have the 5th vehicle. So it's just nice to be able to have another vehicle on there. In theory, on the regular game, you could now play 7 players, because you could do the 4 regular cars, the purple car, which is essentially just another car. There's nothing different about it. But also add the big rig and the final 5 to that. As far as the big rig and the final 5 can play here in Carnival of Chaos, but the big rig is not compatible with it. Big rig's mechanics are kind of clunky to be able to work with this. That gets us that going. Let's take a look at what is going on with this board. We got all these other components that I'm going to show you in a bit, and I really hope I have room to stick this all on here. This table really isn't big enough to play this game, and I also can't get my camera far enough away to be able to get it any more in frame. So you can see you have 2 different things here, 2 different boards that go with this here, and they are double-sided. One of these is the foundation, which the foundation just helps you set everything in place, and then you have the actual game board. You have 2 different ones called the Slaytona 500 and the Holosseum. We're going to go with the Holosseum. This is the more basic of the 2. This is all nice and decorated here, but it's not really necessary for the game. We're now going to take 3 boards. We can take any 3 boards. The end of the board will face in towards it and snap into the thing here as so. And you can use any of the boards. It can be the base game boards, or it can be some of the boards from the Carnage at Devil's Run expansion. Then you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Then you'll have the actual arena, which will jump on top of it there. Take the arena, you look for the name Holosseum, and you're going to put Holosseum over Holosseum. Now the thing that's nice on this, and this was an upgrade they did for Kickstarter for this, as well as the decorative board there. I don't know if this was going to be around in every version of it, but maybe it's actually magnetic, because right there you can see I let go of it there, and it just kind of snaps there, and as I do this here, it will snap right in the spot there. So these are magnetized where it lines up with the board on the bottom. I was actually curious about it, and I'll take one of my other magnets here, and you can find the well, that side is the wrong polarization. There's that side. It snaps on right around here. There'll be one here kind of on the back side of this F here. There should be one there, and we'll have one here that will also just somewhere here, right there, it found it. See, so they're magnetic. You do need to match the name of it with the foundation because it will not line up properly otherwise. Like if I try to do the Slaytona over the Coliseum here, it isn't going to work right. They don't really want to go on each other because the polarizations are opposite on these. There we go. All right, we're going to place party favors. We have party favors. Now, in all the spaces that are marked with a party favor spot, they get a party favor. Look at all these party favors. The menu here goes over all the different party favors. But you got things like this turn, you can change the direction your car is facing, and we'll go why that's important in a bit. Before moving, you may shoot before moving, so you get to shoot before and after moving. Full throttle, you can use this effect. Even if you coasted, you can use this effect. Basically, it's just a bunch of cool things you can get. Additionally, there's also a solid gold muffler, which is worth some scrap. Which is important because what this game is about scrap. You want to collect as much scrap as you can. Well, these are some of the upgraded scrap tokens. Regular scrap tokens just look like this. They're just, punch outs. You want to get scrap in here. So the way you get scrap is when an opposing car is damaged on your turn, you get 2 scrap. When the opposing car is eliminated on your turn, you get 3 scrap. If you have an operable car in the spotlight space, one of these spotlight spaces, on Tina's turn, yes, Tina, Turbo Tina, gets a turn. She rewards you with scrap. Some of the party favors get you scrap. And once per game, you get your Witness Me cards, which can give you some more scrap. Because you want to get scrap. Once somebody is eliminated, you look at who has the most scrap, and that's the winner. Now, the party favors also, you treat hazard spaces on the boards as party favors. So, such as these would get party favors. Party favors! I'm getting party favors. Then you also have killer pillars. The roadside of the killer pillar. And then, boom, it can turn into a pillar that goes up and smashes you. So these go over the letters. So A, B, H, no I, and J. They didn't like I. I don't know why they didn't like I. We also have the super weapon tokens that go on the spaces marked with the super weapon. Everybody will set up their car just as normal. However you plan to do that. Additionally, everybody gets a Witness Me card, which is like shiny on both sides. You're going to play this like a normal game. There's 3 different starting boards there, and each of your vehicles will start on one of the different boards. You choose which one of your vehicles you're putting well. So you put your small, your medium, and your large on different ones. For the final 5, you'll have 2 of the boards will have 2 of your bikes, and one will have one individual lonesome bike. You also have the Witness Me cards, which are foil on both sides. You have 6 of these, 1 for each of the teams that can play in this game. It basically says play at the start of your turn each time you shoot or slam, regardless of the result, gain 1 scrap. This is in addition to any scrap you would gain normally. At the end of your turn, return this card to the box. So one time in the game, you get to make a bunch of scrap for just every card that you end up slamming with. So that's fun. But you're going to go through turns just like normal Thunder Road Vendetta, starting off on these roads and going into the arena. There'll be normal rounds where every player has 3 turns, except at the end of the round, it's Tina's turn. Yes, Turbo Tina, who is the one that's in charge of all this. Turbo Tina, it's my turn now. And we got like all these things here. And this will issue a decree that will be in effect for the next round. And it will also set off some of these pillars. So on Tina's turn, if somebody has their car in the spotlight, they get however much scrap she has decreed on the card. certain ones of these will pop up. Like we have D, E, and J would pop up in this case, which would be D, E, and J. So these three right here. If your car is on a pillar, when the pillar goes pop, your car's eliminated. So some of these decrees can be things like, if a car damages a car with a chop shop upgrade or a super weapon, take that card and add it to your car. Players may rotate the car they activate in any direction before moving. Put 2 scrap on each empty space with an inactive killer pillar. If your car ends its move on that space, collect the scrap. Cars moved in a slam, roll the stunt die to see how far they move, ignoring all spaces in between. After rolling movement die, increase all of them by 1. So, yeah, it's just crazy things that she does. And she just pops a bunch of the things. There's one that's literally just yes, all of them. All it does is just pop up all of the pillars. On the next round, when other pillars go up, the other ones will go back down. Basically, in your turns, you will drive into the arena. Once you are in the arena, you're in the arena, and you can't purposely drive out of it. So you can't leave the arena once you go in there. You can be bumped out of it by an effect from someone, and you just have to drive back into it. But now, you're noticing you're like, well, these spaces are hex. They're like hex shaped. So how does this work? Well, when you go onto a space and you go to another one, the rear of your car will face the direction that you were going. And then you can move forward into one of these that are in your front arc. If you turn, then your rear end once again will align back from the direction that you came from. And you can see when you're leaving the board here that you got arrows to show you what ones you can move on to from different spaces on the here. Also, you'll see the double yellow line here showing that if you get bumped out of the arena in these spaces here between the boards, you get eliminated. Well, your car gets eliminated for dropping off into there. It'd also be the same if you got pushed back into a space like right here. This would be a impassable space. If you were to get bumped from here into that and impassable space there, you'd get eliminated. Party favors. You get a party favor when you end your turn on a space with a party favor. It'll flip over, it'll reveal something, and you can use this once. You can only use a party favor on your turn unless it says differently. The other thing would be these super weapons. If you end up on a super weapon, you take the super weapon token, so the super weapon goes on that specific car. And these are basically just like fancy upgrades. When this car shoots and hits, resolve the damage token's effect twice. This car may shoot once during its move step and then continue moving. It may shoot again during its normal step. Big friendly gun. When this car shoots and hits, the target takes an extra face down damage. Cluster missiles. When this car shoots and hits, each opposing car adjacent to the target takes a face down damage. So, yeah, these are just great little things here. Now, every car can have one super weapon. So you can't have more than one on any particular car. But these super weapons, you have them on that car as long as that car is operable. If the car is inoperable, you don't have this. Now, choppers are also like cars. The direction that you place the chopper is important because its front arc will be the direction that it faces. And also the direction die, while the shapes of the spaces are different, it's still surrounded by 6. And since these are hexagons here, that still works. Just align it to the direction that your car is facing and then do the movement based off of the direction that it shows on there. And so officially the game goes until either someone is eliminated or 6 turns. You can do that by just shuffling up Tina's turns and then Tina's turns. Okay, let me see what we did there with Tina's turn. And then you pull out 6 of these And that's basically a round counter right there, that once these are gone, you've gone your 6. Once again, that's what's going on with Carnival of Chaos. This really brings like another play style to this. If you don't want to do the race and you just want to run around and go nuts on each other, it definitely is crazy. It lets you bring more players into it. Just picking up the purple is also really good for it. One of the Kickstarter exclusives on this here were these hexagon shaped hazard tiles, which you can decide to place these out. There's not spots on the board marked for them, but they basically give you regular things like a mine, desert glass, a ramp that faces every direction, fire, wreck, goo, oil, mud, mine, and all the other fun stuff on it there. And you can just place these out on whatever spaces you want to, just to kind of trick the game up a little bit. I was thinking about how many different layouts there are on here. And we know that there's 10 boards, have 2 each, so that's 20 different boards. So to start out with this, we'll go with 20, because there's 20 options that could go here. 2 of the boards have been pulled out by that one, because this is board 4, so 4A and 4B are both out of it, which means there are 18 options that can go there. Then there's 16 options that can go here. And then there's 2 different arenas, which gives us a total of 11,520 different ways that you can lay this out. And that's not even taking into account that you can put these in different positions here. Essentially, there's 2 different positions you can put them in. There's 6 technically, but most of those are just going to be rotating around. So it's really just going to be like 23,000 different options on this. So yeah, that's a lot of different scenarios you can set up on here. And just to take a look at the 2 here, the Holosseum, this is the kind of more basic one. You can flip over to this. This one is the Slaytona 500, and as you can see, the Slaytona 500 has some impassable spaces through it here. So some other spots that you could get bumped into. Additional play modes are always fun on this. And it's really great. And like I said, just adding the purple crew to it just gives you another player in there, even for the base game. So that's fun. So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down to the comment section and let me know anything that you think down there. And you can also subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you don't miss anything that I post. This is Jeremy with To The Tabletop, and we'll see you around next time.